Mandaeism religion. Mandaeism is one of the smallest Gnostic religions still alive today. It's monotheistic, but if you look closer, it feels nothing like Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. Let's break it down. First, the history. Most scholars believe Mandaeism started in the 1st or 2nd century AD, in the Jordan Valley and Palestine area. They see it as having Israelite roots, and a direct link to the inner circle of John the Baptist's disciples. Mandaean tradition itself says they're the descendants of John the Baptist's followers. They fled to Mesopotamia to escape persecution, and by late antiquity, they were living along the lower Euphrates and Tigris rivers. In the beginning, their religion was more polytheistic, focused on the origins of gods and the world. But over time, under Persian, Jewish, Christian, and later Islamic influence, it became monotheistic. At the center is the great king of light. For centuries, they lived in southern Iraq and Iran's Khuzestan province. But after the 2003 Iraq War, most fled. Today, about 60 to 70,000 Mandaeans are scattered across Syria, Jordan, Europe, Australia, and North America. Now, the core beliefs. Mandaeans believe in one God, called Hayy Rabbi, the Great Life, or the Great Living God. He's eternal, the creator, and has no partner. But here's where it gets different. Mandaeism is strongly dualistic. There's a world of light, ruled by the Great Life, and there's our material world, which was created by lower beings. The main one is called Ptahil, basically the Gnostic version of a demiurge. Human souls are stuck in this material world. The goal is gnosis, or knowledge, to free the soul and return it to the world of light. Who do they revere? Adam, Abel, Seth, Enosh, Noah, Shem, Aram, and above all, John the Baptist. To Mandaeans, John is the greatest prophet and messenger, but they don't see Abraham, Moses, Jesus, or Muhammad as true prophets. Their sacred texts are written in Mandaic, an Eastern Aramaic dialect. The main book is called the Ginza. And their practices? Baptism is everything. They baptize in flowing rivers, not once, but again and again for spiritual cleansing. They also have rituals for the dead, purification rites, and festivals like Parwanaya. And they're endogamous. They marry within the community to keep their identity intact. So how is Mandaeism different from the other monotheistic religions? For Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, God created the material world directly, and it was good. For Mandaeism, the material world is a flawed creation made by lower beings. Only the world of light comes directly from God. For Judaism, Moses is the central prophet. For Christianity, it's Jesus. For Islam, it's Muhammad. For Mandaeism, John the Baptist is the greatest, and the others are rejected. For Christianity and Islam, the faith is universal and missionary. For Mandaeism, it's ethnic and closed. You're born into it. And for practice, while the others focus on prayer, law, and fasting, Mandaeism centers everything around repeated ritual baptism in living water. So in one line, here's what makes Mandaeism unique. 1. Gnostic dualism. The material world isn't made by the supreme God. 2. John the Baptist is higher than Jesus. 3. Baptism isn't a one-time event, it's a way of life. And 4. It's a closed community, not a missionary religion. Mandaeans call themselves Nazareans, or Sabians, and they're one of the last living links to the Gnostic world of late antiquity. In creation, Genesis says the world is God's good creation gone wrong. Mandaeism says the world was never right to begin with. It's a prison for light, and you need knowledge to get out. That's why Mandaeism feels so different. It's not just a different set of prophets. It's a completely different story about why we're here.